America's backbone was built on blue-collar business grit, grind, and muscle. This is where you stop working for the business, and the business starts working for you.
Hey, Blue Collar Millionaires, back for part 2 of buying businesses and growing businesses. Last week, we went over a deal where we were talking about buying it at a 3x multiple, a deal that was netting $500,000. You could buy it at $1.5 million. You could pay the debt off. I did all the math for you. It was $240,000 a year. You'd still have $260 left and still have the ability to grow it. But a lot of guys ask me what types of business we buy. We went over about 12 or 15 examples. But Chris, let's go through kind of my questions on what kind of business I look for. So number one for me is, can I get a customer one time and make money over that customer over and over and over again? You guys know I love talking about gutter cleaning. It's the perfect example. I got apartment complexes 24 years ago, and I still do them today, twice a year. It's insane. If I want a customer that if I get it one time, I'm going to make money on them over and over again, high profit. Chris, what are some other things you like?
You want to look at potential profit margins. I mean, so a great profit margin goal is to sit there around 20%. Now, I've seen businesses that are higher 20%. I've also seen businesses that are very restricted below the 20%. These are not the kind that you want. And this might be jumping into another question you asked later, Kevin, but I remember you making the statement, and it was extremely true and impactful. You were like, I don't buy a business unless I can see where I can add value.
No.
And if you can't see how you can add value, meaning grow the net profit, then you don't need to be buying that business because you're going to get bored with it. You're going to get burnt out on it. And we all know that progress is what allows us to stay happy in life as entrepreneurs. So what's a third one?
I want to make sure it's recession proof. So some people, say we're in a recession now or economy change. I want to know if people aren't spending as much money, they're still going to do that. So that's a lot of the things. Homeowners are still going to get pest control. They're still going to get their lawn cut. They're still going to get their roof done. They're going to get those things done. And for me, the HOAs and everything, they never stopped it. Even in 2008, they didn't stop any of that. What are some things that they are going to stop? Luxury stuff, right? They're probably going to might not get their car washed every week. I don't know. There might be some other thing. They might not get their house cleaned if they're paying. I just got a quote to clean my house. It was so high, right? And a lot of people will cut that out and they'll clean it themselves. So I want things that when money's tight, they're still going to get it done. It's just too much effort for them to change.
Agreed. Supply and demand. We've all heard that. We got taught that in economics when we were going up through school. Make sure that whatever industry, whatever business you're looking at, that there's a higher demand for it than there is supply.
Yep.
We're talking about, let's find the low-hanging fruit. There's no reason, because there's so much opportunity, there's no reason to stick yourself into something to where you're having to climb this massive mountain. There's too many hills to be conquered because there's so much opportunity out there. So really pay attention. Am I going to be fighting for every ad space? Am I going to have hundreds of people in competition against me? What does that labor market look like? How much of an addressable customer market do I have? I mean, if you're catering to the ultra high net worth, then what type of market are you in? Because if you've only got a handful of those in the market and then you have one competitor come in, it's going to make it difficult for you to be able to capitalize and make a lot of money and scale and grow that business. So supply demand factor.
And that supply demand kind of goes with the barrier to entry. I want there to be a barrier to entry, which is going to create more demand and less supply. So that could be, I don't personally like licenses, but that could be one of those. For me, that's part of the reason I like the heights. Heights don't bother me. Heights don't bother. Less than 1% of the people are comfortable up on ladders and roofs. So I know there's not a lot of people who want to clean gutters. So that's good because there's not a lot of companies that want to do it. So there's going to be a demand. Another one is you can even shift your customer base, which is what I did with mine. Is I like to get customers. I like customers that pay in 60 days. You know why? Because nobody likes them. Nobody wants them. So if I can work out my own cash flow issues, which I did, and I can stack up money, I can weather that where other people can't. And they don't even want to give deposits. So it just runs everybody out. So I look for all these barriers of entry and build a moat around me. I don't want stuff that a guy with $1,000 in a pickup truck can be my competitor.
Agreed.
When guys say, "Oh, low ballers," and I can't, these guys just come in. When you need to look at your own business and why aren't you doing services and things they can't do?
I agree 100% with that statement. Another point of interest that you want to ask yourself: how complicated is this to train? Do you need a 4 year and 8 year degree? Do you need 2 5 years in the field learning this trade? Because that is going to be a restriction, a bottleneck for you as you try to scale, and you need the labor to put behind this branded business on the fulfillment end. So the less complicated, the more I like it. I love to be able to think I can take great attitude, great communication skills, and plug them in, let them learn for 60, 90 days, and then they're able to start on their own. And then they're just asking high level questions at that point. When you can plug, when you've got a business where you can plug somebody fresh in and they'll be up and running in less than 6 months, you've got a very scalable model when it comes to the fulfillment process.
Yeah. And then the other one is I look at a business and I say to myself, can I get this to $1 million in EBITDA? Can I see the path? I need to see the path because I see things they're not doing. I see opportunities they don't see, or I can just reverse engineer it. If I can't, I'm not interested. Somebody else say, well, I don't need to make 1 million EBITDA. Then what's your number? I hope it's at least 500. It's too much work to do this. We're not trying to buy businesses like a hot dog stand or ice cream place so we can say, "Hey, I got a business." And you make $36,000 a year. You just bought yourself a job. A lot of groups and stuff, people get on people for buying jobs or trying to sell jobs. It's the truth. We want a business that you want to scale it to $1 million for a bunch of reasons. First of all, you'll be free. Second, you will be rich because the person who gets to $1 million in EBITDA, he already made 400 grand, 600 grand, 800 grand, million. He already has a lot of money. And then once you hit $1 million in EBITDA, if you know about private equity, that is when they get very interested. And that's when the multiples go crazy. People get 16, 18x multiples on certain types of business. What did our friend just get yesterday? What
11.
owner?
He got
11?
no, I'm sorry, 10. He got a 10x.
You got a 10x multiple. He was way over $1 million in EBITDA. He
Yeah,
worked to get there, and then
he was at
I mean,
6.5 EBITDA. He got a 10x multiple on it,
yep,
and he only sold a portion of his business, took chips off the table, stays in the business. He knows what potential it has to grow. So he's going to ride it up to the next exit again. But he took chips off the table, protected himself, and then he diversified that money he took off the table. So now he's got some different investments, but he's got his core investment that he knows. He knows what levers to pull. He knows how to drive that asset so that it just keeps printing cash.
yeah. Chris, I think we'll just finish up on this one, and then we'll talk about the leads on the next one. But here's some things you can do when you buy a business. So this could be either you have a business, you should be looking to buy other businesses and bolt them on. It's a very fast way to grow and scale and increase your profit margins. But anytime you go into a business, quick thing is day 1 through 5, you want to get the team on board. You want to talk to that team before you ever buy it. But you want to get them to understand your vision, and you want them to buy into it and understand that this is going to be a better thing for them. So I always would pull aside people and say, hey, what are some things you would like to do to improve this company? What more can you do? And I'm asking them all questions about you. They're expecting you to come in there and be this boss, but I'm really asking about them. But really what I'm doing is gauging, are they motivated? Are they interested? Is this somebody I can give more to? And sometimes you get somebody who you don't give a shit what you're talking about. And I'm making a mental note. Yeah, he's probably not going to be around here in 30 to 60 days. But most people, it's just how we're wired. We want opportunity. We
That's it.
want more. Of course, people want to make more money, but people want more purpose too. So that's a quick thing to do walking in. But that first 1 to 45 days is about cleaning up the business. I generally don't try to bring on a lot of new sales. I just want to get it ready almost for that 45 days when I'm going to open up that marketing and start pulling people in. I want to make sure customers are happy, employees are happy. We're improving systems. We're putting in SOP, standard operating procedures. We're cleaning up the place depending on what it looks like. We're changing the technology, the CRMs, um, everything at that point. And once you get to that day 30 to 60, that's when you 60, that's when you really should be starting. You should understand what's working, what's not in the business. And
Yeah.
you should be, like, as Chris says, putting your money goggles on. You should be really seeing where the opportunities are in that business. You're knee deep in it at this point. And then find the things that work and don't work, pour gasoline on the ones that do, and take the ones that outside that don't and shoot them.
That's it.
That's pretty much simple. Next week, we're going to talk about getting leads. Everybody says, it's this simple. This is how I get leads. I do shit that other people won't. That's it. And I'm going to talk about that. If you do that, that's simple, you'll have more leads than you know what to do with. But do you
If
want to do it?
if you like the content in this podcast, then hop on to School, SKOOL, School, and look up Blue Collar Millionaire. It's an $8. Right now it is anyway. Maybe later when you're listening to this down the road, it might be different. But
Insane.
currently, right now, it's $8. We got a vibrant community inside there where we talk about nothing but business. We interview Deca millionaires where they're coming in and they're giving us the process where they started from scratch to where they grew it to a multi-million-dollar business and what allowed them to have that success. If you're a startup, if you're wanting to start your own business, if you're wanting to buy your first business, plug in. $8 is less than a value meal. We also have, if you're into more of a course content, self-paced type situation, you can check out our Blue Collar Millionaire Accelerator group inside of School as well, where we have downloaded and uploaded all of our course content. It breaks it from A to Z: how to buy a business, how to fund a business, how to different lead strategies as far as building big commercial databases and winning those contracts, how to set up affiliate marketing, how to do pay for performance so that you build a culture of performance inside your business. And then if you want more access to me and Kevin, and also a bunch of just really great entrepreneurs that are just getting shit done, then you want to check out the Boardroom Elite, again, on the School platform. These are our three groups that we have available so that you can get plugged into a community that is on fire about doing more, building a business, and having an abundant mindset so that they can make an impact not only on themselves, but the people around them. And if you're just looking for something free, a ton of content, check out Facebook group, Blue Collar Millionaire, free all day long. There's a ton of content. Hit the search button, look me and Kevin up, and any keywords you want to search. We just want to see success because we want to see more blue collar millionaires in the space.
Absolutely.